Welcome back to Old Charles, your favorite place for coin collectors, history buffs, and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into the story, value, and secrets behind the 1965 United States quarter dollar. You might just have one of these in your pocket change, but is it worth more than 25 cents? Let's find out. In the early 1960s, the United States faced a major coin shortage. Silver prices were rising quickly, and the government had to act. Before 1965, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver, but that changed with the Coinage Act of 1965. That law removed silver from dimes and quarters entirely and introduced the copper-nickel clad composition we still use today. So, the 1965 quarter marks a turning point in U.S. coinage history. It's the first quarter made without any silver content. But does that make it rare or valuable? We'll get to that. Let's talk design. The obverse side features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. Above his head, you'll see the word **Liberty***, and below the neck, the date **1965. The reverse shows the classic image of an eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, symbolizing strength and peace. There is no mint mark on quarters from 1965, no matter where they were made. This was done intentionally to discourage hoarding during the silver transition. In 1965, the U.S. Mint produced over 1.8 billion quarters. Yes, you heard that right. That makes this coin one of the most common quarters ever made because of its high mintage and no silver content. Most 1965 quarters found in circulation today are only worth their face value, **25 cents, but there are exceptions. And this is where things get exciting. If your 1965 quarter is in circulated condition, it's typically worth 25 to 50 cents. However, if it's in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially graded MS 65 or higher, the value can climb. Here's a quick breakdown. MS 60 to MS 63 ***, around $1 to $3 MS 64, $5 to $8 MS 65 and up, $10 to $25 or more, depending on luster and strike quality. And now, the big one. Era coins and transitional varieties. Some extremely rare 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on 1964 silver planchets. These weigh 6.25 grams instead of the normal 5.67 grams. If you suspect you have one, try this. Weigh the coin on a digital scale. If it's heavier than 5.67 grams, you might have a valuable error. These silver planchet errors have sold for $4,000 to $7,000 plus at auction. Other errors include off-center strikes, double dies, and broad strikes, which can range in value from $50 to over $500, depending on rarity and demand. If your 1965 quarter is shiny, has no scratches, and looks brand new, it could be a high-grade coin worth keeping or submitting for professional grading. And don't forget, always store your coins in safe holders or coin flips to protect their value over time. So, what's the real value of a 1965 quarter dollar? In most cases, it's pocket change. But if you've got a rare error or a mint state gem, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The year 1965 marked a turning point in American coinage history. Before this, all U.S. quarters, including those from 1964 and earlier, were made of 90% silver. But things were about to change. In the early 1960s, the price of silver started rising dramatically. People began hoarding silver coins, and as a result, the U.S. faced a serious coin shortage. To solve this crisis, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965. This law eliminated silver from quarters and dimes, introducing a new clad composition, a sandwich of copper and nickel. The new 1965 quarter was made of a copper core with an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This gave the coin a silver-like appearance, but without the high cost of actual silver. Interestingly, to avoid confusion during the transition, no mint marks were used on quarters minted in 1965, 1966, and 1967, even though production was happening in multiple facilities like Philadelphia and Denver. This was also a time when the U.S. Mint took extra precautions to prevent hoarding. They even paused the production of proof and uncirculated sets between 1965 and 1967. Because of these changes, the 1965 quarter became the first modern, non-silver quarter of the U.S., ushering in a new era of coins made for durability and mass circulation rather than metal value. Though the coin itself isn't rare, it represents a major shift in American economic policy, precious metal use, and coinage history. Let's talk about something that makes a huge difference in the value of your coin: condition. Not all 1965 quarters are equal. Some are only worth face value, while others can sell for $10, $50, or even hundreds of dollars, depending on their grade. Coin condition is measured using the Sheldon grading scale, which ranges from poor, P1, all the way up to a perfect mint state 70, MS 70. These coins show clear signs of wear, flattened details, faded lettering, or dull surfaces. Value, typically worth 25 to 50 cents. Asterisk asterisk almost uncirculated, -50 Australian dollars to -58 Australian dollars, asterisk asterisk. Coins that have minimal wear and still show some mint luster. Value, around $1 to $2. These coins have never been in circulation. They might have minor marks from handling at the mint. Value, $3 to $5 high-grade mint state, MS 64 to MS 67. These coins have a strong strike, brilliant luster, and very few marks. Value, can range from $10 to $50, and sometimes more at auction. A top-graded MS 67 example of the 1965 quarter has sold for over $300, especially if it has excellent eye appeal or comes from a special roll or mint set. To protect your coin's condition and potential value, store it in a plastic coin flip or airtight capsule. Avoid touching it with bare hands. Use gloves. And if you think your coin looks flawless, consider having it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. Remember, condition can make the difference between a coin worth a quarter and a coin worth hundreds of dollars. Now let's answer the big question. What is a 1965 quarter dollar really worth today? While millions of these coins were made, certain conditions and rare errors can boost their value well beyond face value. Let's break it down. Most 1965 quarters you'll find in pocket change are circulated, meaning they've been used in everyday transactions for decades. These are worth about 25 to 50 cents, depending on where. Yes, most are still only worth face value. If you have a mint state or uncirculated 1965 quarter, especially one graded MS 63 or higher, then it could be worth more. While the 1965 quarter is not rare in general, collectors still look for high-grade examples, proof-like finishes, or unique errors. If you believe your coin is special, it may be worth getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Check the condition. The better it looks, the higher the value. Weigh the coin. If it's heavier than normal, it could be silver. Look for striking errors, off-center, double die, or clipped. Consider grading if the coin looks uncirculated. In most cases, your 1965 quarter is worth face value. But in the right condition, or with the right error, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So before you spend that old coin, asterisk asterisk, take a second look. Asterisk asterisk. You just might be holding treasure. Have you checked your change jar lately? Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a 1965 quarter worth more than face value. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Old Charles, and hit that bell so you never miss a coin treasure tip again.